There's one tab in Google Ads that tells you exactly how you compare to your competitors when you're running ads, and very few paid media strategists ever check it. So just give me the next 60 seconds and I'll walk you through how to understand and actually use the information in this report. So when you first open your account, go to the Insights and Reporting tab, and underneath that, you're going to click Auction Insights, and you'll land on a report that looks exactly like this. So when you're looking at this report, right, the left side is going to show you and some of your competitors' names. And the first place I want to start here is the impression share. And this is out of all of the auctions you were eligible for, how often your actual ad showed up. So right now, we're sitting at about 16% of all of the auctions, right? And then there's two other competitors above us at 20% and 18 or 19%. And when your impression share is relatively low, like this, for example, it tells me that there's usually one of two major issues going on. This could either be a budget constraint. So we're not showing up in the auctions because our budgets are too low, or we're having an ad rank issue. So we're getting beaten on bid and quality of our ads. And the quickest way that you can actually check this in Google Ads is you can add two search lost impression share columns onto your end of your campaign or ad set or keywords. And what that's going to show you is the percentage that you're losing based off of your budget or based off of your ad rank, in whichever one is higher is typically where you need to spend the most time. Next is going to be the overlap rate. And so this is how often another advertiser showed up when you didn't. So it's the fastest way to find out who's actually competing against you, right? You can see that the top two competitors to us are showing up or overlapping with us about 27 and 25% of the time, where the bottom half are barely showing up or overlapping with us, right? On average, like 7% of the time. So what we really want to focus on is this tells us who we need to pay attention to that continues to show up with our ads when it comes to bidding. Next is going to be the position above rate. And so when you and another advertiser show up and you're both show up at the same time, this is how often that they're actually showing up above you in the ad ranking, right? Or ad positioning. So right now, one of our competitors is at 80% and the other is at about 66%. And so this is definitely a battle that we're losing. And when it comes to competitors consistently outranking you, that's definitely going to be an ad rank issue. So that's something that you'll want to spend more time on, is building stronger ads that are more relevant to the keywords that you're targeting. Next is going to be top of page rate. And this is how often your ad shows up above the organic results in that top block. So what you're seeing here is that about 81% of the time our ads are showing up, but we also have these two other competitors up top here. One of them is showing up 90% of the time over the organic rankings, right? So it's actually good news for us, but the problem is just where we're actually showing up compared to our competitors. Next is going to be the absolute top of page. And so this is actually when your ad shows up in the top placement. So for all of the auctions that we're actually able to show up in, 50% of the time our ad is showing up within that absolute top of page spot, where we have another competitor at 40% and one at 51%. So we're doing pretty good here. But there's typically a catch when it comes to the absolute top of page. There's typically a premium, right, to get that number one spot. And so before you're adding more budget or chasing down getting that number one spot, you really have to understand if that higher cost per click is really worth it based off of what that cost per acquisition is going to be for your business. And does it still make economic sense to press for that number one spot? Position just for the sake of chasing position can actually waste your budget, right? Just because your ad's showing up number one or number two, yes, there is a distinction between CTRs, but individuals typically are looking at both of those ads before making a decision and clicking. And so lastly, we have the outrank share, and that's how often you're ranked above a competitor. So you can see for the top individuals that we're competing against, our ads are showing up about 13% more than our competitors, which is on the lower side, right? So head to head, they are winning most of the time right now. And think of this as a scorecard against your competitors that matter, right? The goal over the next few months then should be to have this number climb. And that's it. That's the full report. So I hope that this video made this report make a little bit more sense to you and that you can use some of the insights that you glean from this report to better rank compared to your competitors.